Leon, you haven't talked a lot this season yet, very turbulent one so far. Can you describe it a little bit? And that's a big question. How does it continue? How do you see your future at the club? Well, in fact, it has started difficult with not a lot of playing practice. The start into the season was not as good as I hoped for, but I tried to do my job and do well in training, and now in the meantime I'm more present on the pitch. I'm very happy about that, and it can continue like that. In your future? Well, at the moment I don't think too much about it. I still have another year of contract, and I think that at the moment there's so much going on, there's no room for too many thoughts about it, and for me the most important is the match tomorrow, so I can't say more about it. Well, the question, how do you see the match tomorrow? You won the first leg 3-0, good result. And another question, how is it mentally to deal with such a situation? How do you treat with it in a mental way? Well, tomorrow after the 3-0, of course it's an advantage for us, but it's the 5th match against Leverkusen this season, and it has always been very close matches, and despite the first leg we want to show our best tomorrow, and we won't approach it in a different way. And the second question was, the second part of the question, how do you deal with the situation in general after your comeback this season, let's say? Well, it's always the question of how you rank it. I've tried to focus on me, myself, what I can have an effect on, and this is what I focused on. And in the last summer I had some more time that I thought. I tried to become fit. This is the basis that you need, and then to see how to deal with the situation, not let it too close to you, of course, to work hard for yourself, do a good performance in training, and I'm confident in myself. I can help a team, I know that, and this is what you have to focus on if things don't go as well as you maybe think. Leon, you haven't talked to us in a long time, only Superflash interviews. So, was it a decision that you took not to present yourself in the media and the press? And how would you describe your relationship to the coach, who has a lot of effect on you playing or not? Well, first of all, it was an obvious decision I took. I just wanted to completely focus on football, and had the feeling that I couldn't solve the situation with words, and that's why I focused on what I said before, on things that I can have an influence on, to focus on the sport. This is the decisive factor at the end, but now I'm here, and answer your questions. Well, and then my relationship to the coach Well, from the beginning it was very good. We spoke about the start of the season where I didn't play much, but I had always the feeling that he was honest to me and communicated very well with me, and that gave me a very good feeling to believe in my game, and I think that he has been convinced of me, to what I can do and strengthen my path, and at the end we can see we reached a good end. I mean, I don't want to call it an end now here, but a positive turnaround, let me call it like that. So, and this is the relationship I have to the coach. Hello, Leon. Just another question. Was in this process last summer where you were told that it could become difficult to get playing time, to maybe change, and how will your opponent be tomorrow without Wirtz, a key player? Well, I think I would like to say to Flo Wirtz all the best. Of course, it's very bitter for Leverkusen and for Germany and for himself. I don't think that we will change our approach. There are so many good players at Leverkusen, so it doesn't change that much for us. And the other question was if there were thoughts last summer. No, not at all. Everyone has to analyze or make analysis. I did it for myself last summer, and as I said before, I was really convinced that I can still help the team. I just watched the doco of Thomas Müller. I don't want to make any ad for him, but Uli Hoeneß said one sentence. He said that everyone, doesn't matter if a greenkeeper or player, has to ask himself the question if he can support and help the team, the club. And I was able to answer that question with yes last summer, and I see it now week in, week out, and I took the right decision for sure. One question, where do you see the team with Vincent Kompany comparing to the last two coaches, especially in Champions League? And how much do you enjoy playing in that team, in this team? Well, I feel very well. I like the idea how to play football with this team. I think it fits very well with my way of playing football, and I'm convinced that we can achieve a lot of things this season. And we have players in our team that, or there are matches this season that haven't been that stable, but I think in the different competitions we have been doing pretty well. We have been building up a good performance, and the matches that we showed fit to Bayern Munich and to the team, so I'm happy to play for this team, and I like the way we play as a team, and the players that have joined, that we managed to convince them that a lot is possible with FC Bayern, not only this season, but in the coming seasons as well. Mr. Goretzka, since a week you have a new number one. How do you experience Urbik? Have you worked together or trained with him? Looks like he, became a lot of muscles. Well, I don't know. He looks good in his shirt, jersey. You're right with that. I haven't seen him a lot in the gym, but this is because I'm not joining or training in the gym a lot. But he seems very good, in a good shape, It's a difficult situation, especially in the first leg. He managed to deal with it in a very good way, and we have a lot of confidence in him, but all the other goalkeepers too, and he can rely on us 100% that we support and help him. So let's see. Two more questions. I would like to know, you talked about your comeback at FC Bayern. How does it look like with your comeback in the national team? Are you in contact with Julian Nagelsmann? No, I'm not in contact with Julian Nagelsmann. And well, hopes, of course, I mean, it's not a secret that I have been very proud to have played for the German national team, and I hope that I can add some more to it, but I'm not stressed about it. I don't think too much about it. If Julian calls me, I will be there. I take off, and we can talk about things that happened last summer, no problem, but in general, he is somebody you can always communicate with, talk to with, and I think that, Julian is of the same opinion. Leon, you were the only one playing against Bochum, the only one that stayed in the team, in the starting 11. What can you learn after such a match? Because everything, or the whole team was changed. Well, you have to analyze it in a different way. I think we showed a good first half. Also, because of we had a lot of new players in, and then we conceded the first goal after a set piece. It was a little bit of bad luck, and then the red card changed the run of the match. Bochum at the beginning didn't realize that there were one more player on the pitch, but they then showed their attitude. We can learn out of that, but besides that, it doesn't help a lot to take any learnings out of it. Of course, you can take learnings out of every match, but playing with only 10 men over 15 minutes, you have to analyze it in a different way. Leon, you said there have been a lot of matches against Leverkusen with a different run of the match. How does it look, the match tomorrow look like? You can approach it in a different way, of course, after the first leg. Well, we haven't discussed or didn't have our meeting, so maybe you can ask the coach when he comes, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be even more difficult to get an answer from him. But I think that this season, except the Bundesliga matches, we looked pretty good, pretty well against Leverkusen, and I think that we'll have a same approach, a similar approach. And it doesn't depend necessarily on the opponent. We will focus completely on us, as we have been doing, and we don't often then rely on the opponent we play against. Leo, something positive. Lothar Matthäus said something to you. He said that you are the player that is similar to him, box-to-box player. What does it do to you if he praises you like that? Well, I'm happy to hear that, about every compliment, of course. I haven't read it, and I just believe you that he said it. Well, I'm happy if Lothar said it like that. I couldn't understand the critics that came in. Now, just jokes apart, I mean, of course, it's nice to hear that and to be appreciated. And I'll try to do my best so he can appreciate it even more. Thanks a lot. Fast turnaround now. Vincent Kompany, our head coach. Please, your questions. Please raise your hand. Hello, Vincent. Great precondition, 3-0 in the first leg. How do you approach such a match? Is there a danger? And how do you want to make it into the quarterfinals? Well, I think if you're a coach of FC Bayern, then it's mentally always easier, because the only thing that they want is to win, and you can't approach the match differently. Of course, we want to get the result which qualifies us for the next round, but if I now start to say that we can only start a match with the highest priority to win it and to write the history that way. Hello, coach. Today, the diagnosis came out, was announced. He will be missing by Leverkusen for a couple of weeks. Did it change your thoughts, your idea for the match tomorrow? Is there something you would like to change or you will change? What's the effect? Well, of course, it's a pity. We wish him all the best. Of course, we don't hope for a player to get injured of our opponent, but he is a key player. He can make the difference. And I have often said this, that it's difficult to replace such players. The team has to offset or make up for it, or a different idea can have an effect. But I don't think that we don't make too much of a difference in our preparation. Of course, I know what kind of impact such a player can have, but there are so many other players who have such a great quality, so we still have to show our best quality on the pitch tomorrow to make it happen and make it into the quarterfinal. So, but as I said, I hope that he will get better soon, Florian Wirtz, and that he can continue to play football. And now the priority is on, or the focus is on the match tomorrow and on the players who will play. Hello, Vincent. You played here 0-0 in the Bundesliga tie, and you said it was good like that because you wanted to keep the difference. Tomorrow also 0-0 would be enough, but can we still expect an attacking Bayern tomorrow? Well, I said from the beginning, it's always the same sentence that I say. If one team deserves it, that we have to defend and focus on defending, then we have to do it. We have to do it. But from the beginning, the target, the objective is to show our best performance on the pitch, which brought us here to this stage, and it's the same for the match tomorrow. But in this match, we learned that a lot can happen. We will see how the first 45 minutes look like, and then second half. And I don't think the history of the match won't be too monotone. There will be a lot of things happening, that's for sure. Michael Olise, will he be in the starting 11? And what does he contribute to the team? And do you see him more in midfield or in the center than on the wings? Well, if he plays tomorrow, we will see tomorrow. And from his profile, he has this mix. He can play on the wings, very dangerous over the wings. That's how he gave his assist in the first leg, but he also has the quality to play more in the center, and we knew about it before. He did it also in England, playing in both positions on the wings and more in the center, and I think that this whole package is going to be important in the future. But he doesn't think too much about it, he just performs, and this on a constant basis. Hello, Vincent. Is it a small problem, slight problem, with a 3-0 lead? Maybe you lose 1 or 2% of your performance, and what do you expect of the approach of your opponent? Or do you expect a different approach from Xavi? Of course, you have thoughts about how they are going to act. Well, you learn very quickly as a coach that the last decisions, you can learn a lot from last decisions taken, but looking into the future, it's difficult to think about it. It's only in the head of the coach. And we have to get prepared on what we can prepare on and believe on what we can do. It's not only about the first goal that Leverkusen might score, but also on the first goal that we might score, and also on the duels and how we are going to defend. At the end, the match is going to be decided by the quality of the players and the team. But if you only think about what the others can do, then it can happen. I just speak out of my experience. No, it's all about what we want to do, how we want to score, and this will also have a huge impact on the match tomorrow. How did you see the team over the last 2 days? Still thinking about the defeat at the weekend? Well, of course, there's always some time after such a match like at the weekend.
To make it easier for myself for once, there's always a moment where you have to draw a conclusion. I think to every game, to every defeat, it's really important to not take a defeat into the next game, but that's just a habit you need to have every time. So of course, you have this moment where you want to first conclude the last game and make sure that we can rationalize it, and then after that, the only priority is the next game, and this game obviously is easier to put forward as really important, and because the players know, and it wasn't so long ago, and therefore I think as long as you conclude the last game, you can go into the next game and only look forward to the job you have to do then.
Auf der rechten Seite, Nicolas Linner für die Bild-Zeitung.
Leon Goretzka was here with us before. His story is a special one because he was told at the beginning of the season that he won't play long. And now he's one of the key players. What has developed Leon? Why is he now important to you, and what kind of a role does he play for you in the future? Well, that's a story that happens so many times actually in football. There are two decisions. You stop to work, it's not for me, or you just continue and you try and try and try, and at some point the moment comes, you continue playing at the club or you leave the club. And he just fought and trained very well, and it wasn't easy and he wasn't happy, obviously. But it was good that the club was honest. You shouldn't see it only in a negative way. But after that, he just spoke on the pitch. And as a coach, you wish for each player. Of course, at the beginning of the season, you don't know who starts the season and who ends the season. I have always experienced that in my career. But resilience, there's a nice word in English. To be resilient mentally, it's easy to talk about it, but it's difficult to act like that. So it's a good story, also a good story for all the others, because there might be other players who think, oh wow, what happens with my situation now? But when the season starts and the transfer window is closed, you have only one choice. You have to fight for your position. Maybe something happens at the end. So it's a positive story of Leon and for all the other players. And talking about the future, well, it's difficult to say what happens over the next years. There are other people who are responsible for it. We have open talks and negotiations with the players. But at the end, it's important what happens on the pitch. And this is my role, actually, to let be taken the decision. Just another question to Leon Goretzka. What did you do to Leon Goretzka? He always felt well with you. He was resilient. I mean, have you had good talks to him? You were active with him. Well, we have such an important match tomorrow. We can talk about it at the end of the season. But I was also a player in the past. I don't want to make it too complicated. If a player plays, then there's a reason. And if he doesn't play, there's another reason behind it. And if I'm right or not, it's not always the case that I'm right, but there's always a reason behind it. And every player knows about my opinion that I have. And at the end, I have to say, it is the player himself who push themselves. And it's them. And we, the coaches, are there. If they give their energy, we are there to pick them up again, to give them a chance. Jonas Urbik, what kind of impression does he give to you? Is he a little bit nervous, maybe? No. Very calm, has been very good in training, and he gives this impression, and I've always said, the bigger the matches, the more important are the experienced players, and the players who have played at this level already, they need to take over the responsibility and take care of the other players. And all the others, they always performed, they always gave their support. We have played many matches without Kane, without Jamal, without Neuer. It happened this season already, and we always made up for it. And tomorrow we expect nothing less. All right. Thank you very much, Vinny. Thank you. And we'll see each other tomorrow again. Bye-bye.